Hi. So, day 2 of my grieving diary. Day 2. Follow on from yesterday. Yeah, I realised after I posted yesterday that although I talked about my son, I didn't really explain what had happened. So, 3 weeks as yesterday, 28th of June, the 10:30 at night, the police came to the door, and I got a notification on my phone, because I've got the Ring doorbell, that the police were at the door, and straight away I knew what it was, because all I will say is my son had mental health problems and he was an addict. So I've kind of not been expecting it, in a way expecting it, and there's been many times when he's been near to death before and it hasn't happened. Thankfully it didn't happen, but I guess I always knew one day that day would come. So 10:30 at night, I could see the police outside and I was in bed, so I got up and they said, "Can we come in and talk to you?" And I said, "Just a minute," and I wandered around the hallway and thought, I don't want them to come in. I really don't want them to come in, because I knew what they were going to tell me. So I kept going back to the door and saying, "I don't want you to come in," and they said, "Can we come in?" Anyway, eventually I let them in, and they gave me the news that my son had passed away peacefully sometime earlier in the day. The circumstances as to how, we don't know yet, because there will be an inquest. So that's yet to come. And a lot of that is probably not my story to tell anyway. My story is the one that started on the 28th of June when he died, my grieving story. So yeah, there were two things I wanted to sort of clarify after yesterday. That was one of them. I wanted to just touch on what had happened, or as much as I know what had happened. And two, I said at some point during the video that I was strong, and for anybody that wasn't strong to go to the doctors. When I thought about it afterwards, I thought I should be more mindful about the words that I use, because there is strength in reaching out for help. And just because I'm not reaching out for help yet, there may come a time when I need to, but at the moment I'm not. And that doesn't mean to say that I'm stronger than anybody else. It's just the way I'm dealing with it at the moment, day to day, hour to hour. And yeah, so I just want to clear that up, that there is strength in so many things that we as grieving mothers do. Getting out of bed in the morning is strength. Putting the kettle on, making a cup of tea, going shopping. There's strength in just putting one foot in front of another, taking one breath after another. That is strength. So, yeah. The other thing I wanted to say was, I know I touched on, I believe that I will be reunited with him one day, and he will have hell to pay for what he's put me through. But yeah, I do believe that we'll be reunited. And also, because ChatGPT and YouTube are my friends at the moment, my real best friends, and I see all these different videos and quotes, and a lot of it is helping, a lot of it isn't, just passes me by. But another thing that I saw, and it's from two different people, and one of the people that said this was actually a mother that had lost her son. So I guess that gives her some yeah, for her to be able to say this, that the soul makes a choice on whether to leave or not. And I really thought about that with Jonathan, because as I say, there's been several times before when he's been near to death when he was younger, and he lived. And the sad part about this one is, or this time, not the sad part, but one of the hard things for me to come to terms with was the fact that over the last few months he'd found some peace and happiness, which is what every mother wants for the kids, and he really seemed to be finding it, and then he's gone. So did his soul make that choice? Who knows? Kind of like to think that he did. Yeah. So the mother that said it, she lost her son, I think back in 2017. And she said her son was in a bad accident and he had a near-death experience, and he came to, and he said that God had given him the choice. God had spoken to him and given him the choice, and he said that he wanted to go back and say goodbye to his family. So he lived for a few more days and then he died, and she took from that it was his choice. He'd done what he needed to do here on this earth. Maybe there's some truth in that. I think when you're grieving, you have to find whatever fits and whatever helps you at that time. You know, me saying that, somebody else might think, oh God, no, that's an awful thing to say. Somebody else might think, yeah, that resonates, and I get that. It resonated with me. And that is one of the reasons that I'm doing these videos. For one thing, it helps me to talk about things, to talk about grief and how I'm dealing with it, because it's really difficult to say to people. Grief is a really difficult thing to talk about. So yeah, on the one hand, it's helping me to sit and do this diary, this grief diary, and on the other hand, I would like to think that somebody listening or watching this, it might actually help. It might reach out to them. That would be my hope. So yeah, on that note, the sun is shining. I'm going to go home and maybe chill a little bit in the garden. Who knows? As I say, minute by minute, hour by hour, things change, but go with it for now. So, love and light, everybody. Love and light. Take care. Mwah.